This looks like it's gonna hurt for Liquid. Entity7 might have walked away with this one draft-wise.
Hey, it's not over just yet. There's still a lot of micro mechanics when it comes down to like the laning phase here.
Absolutely.
I'm most interested in whether or not Teddy on this Paquito has what it takes to go up, especially against the Moskov on the opposite side.
The good news, maybe, is that even though they're seeing some good heroes here, not a total surprise for Liquid. So caught off guard, maybe not. And for the side of Team Entity7, the fact that they are in this meta now and not playing maybe a meta you could have seen 2 months ago, it's got to feel good for South America. It's SA versus the Philippines. It is an elimination match. It's our final series of the day. Man, oh man, MSC is only getting more fun from here on out. Let's kick off our last series. It's Entity7 versus Team Liquid PH.
And here we go, it's our final match for today. Today's been jam-packed with quality. Let's see if this one can bring it as well. Team Liquid Philippines facing elimination after, as Coach Aeon put it, getting punched in the face. Can they readjust this quick against a team like Entity7, who, yes, I have to agree with the panel, Trex, I like the draft from them in game one.
Yeah, they are picking up little things that we have been seeing throughout this event and implementing it into their own strategies right now. Whereas on the side of TL, this is textbook for them, right? Yes, we do get to see Carl Teasy on the Harara, but everything else is comfort in a sense. Teddy, we had a couple hiccups the other day, right? And this time we're going to get to see him on the fighter, on the Paquito. Hopefully he's able to play through, but whoa, a lot of damage on the Begin. JP, first blood.
First blood going to the hands of JP, but nonetheless, TL scoring that first kill here for the game. You know, an arrow's gonna land. Oh, good rockets too. They'll burn the flicker out from Sanji.
A lot of damage. Shin able to get the kill onto Sanji. It's gonna be good for E7, able to kind of tie things up.
Okay, so E7 gets one back. JP dealing with some pokes here too, avoiding that arrow. That's going to be a very important thing for TL as they approach this. We've seen only a handful of players play the Selena currently. I'd say they're specialists more than anything. As we look at the emblems here real quick too, nothing crazy across the board. A whole lot of tankiness built in to the lineup for E7, even tenacity for Doom here. You know, you talk about Teddy, the struggles that he had, I'd say the same for Doom, you know, in that gold lane that he had to deal with against Onyx. So it's just the nature of the gold laners right now, and that's why back in the interviews, they had talked about, you know, for some of the gold laners out there, yeah, we like to play the fighters if we can, just because, again, this meta currently puts a lot of pressure on those traditional marksmen in the gold lane.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be a little bit relieving too sometimes to switch it up, play something that, yes, Paquito is still very micro-orientated for a fighter,
yeah,
you know, but it's a bit more straightforward in the amount of decisions sometimes you have to make on that marksman now. Speaking of him, Teddy will be trying to rotate his way up to this turtle. Nice knockback onto JP. Sanford in the midst of it all. Brought down to about half health. SOD does connect. Tied on Bush, able to get the turtle. Carl Teasy taking a lot of damage. Ooh. Teddy on the run. And Entity7 is collapsing onto Team Liquid.
Entity7. They gave the call there, and they're going to take more as well.
Sanford in a little bit of trouble as well. Forced to dash through. Entity7, they get a purple. They get a turtle. They get 2 kills. They're looking good right now.
Man, what a play. I was expecting Teddy to look for that opening to go and initiate that fight. I'm not sure what the call was there, but look at the replay brought to us by SCC. Again, it looks like they're in position for this, but then they just kind of decided this wasn't the fight they wanted to take because of that tankiness up at the front line that E7's lineup gives them with that Belric and, of course, even hide on Bush on the Barretts, plus that Freya. So, you know, and at the same time, Doom just got to go ahead and chill in his lane.
All right, on the top side, Akashi and Sanford just having a little standoff, nothing too major. And everything kind of goes back to a standstill. I'm wondering if, honestly, this might be a time that Entity7 needs to push in a bit. You have the Barats jungle. You have that tankiness. You have that Ube-type strat that can bully a assassin jungle.
Oh, Teddy
takes a lot of damage, gets caught up. Entity7 just collapsing once again, consistently looking for plays across the map.
Hey man, we talked about, you know, you pick up the fighter so you don't have to deal with too much of the bullying. You're still gonna get bullied, it's just you can survive it a little bit more. As we saw, even though Teddy had to burn the flicker, we'll see where TL looks to make a play. They're really centered around that top side of the map. Again, a part of this is, again, allowing that Harara in the hands of Carl Teasy to go ahead and get farmed up, get what you need to do. We've seen it also in the previous series where, hold on.
Beautiful play by Team Liquid. The stun, the knock up, and Carl Teasy comes in to help clean things up. A kill goes to Sanji, a kill goes to Carl.
As I was just saying, hold on. They're going to push Hide on Bush out of his jungle, so getting some back here. But that's one of the things I was about the Eudora. Whoa, Daytona's welcome.
Daytona's welcome. Gonna get him against the wall. Sanford does pop the consecration. Should be able to get away from this though. Turtle is up. Entity7 does back off a bit as Shin fires off an arrow.
Okay, no Daytona's welcome available. There is a Retribution, plus the Wrath of the Dryad, so they're still going to contest this. They're actually going to get in range to fight for this Retribution for the Turtle.
Wrath of the Dryad does connect. Onto one. Hide on Bush able to take it right out of Carl Teasy's fingertips. Carl Teasy trying to dash back, trying to get to safety as Hide on Bush gets chased down by Sanford. Carl Teasy re-engages, gets a kill onto Shin, and Sanford up in the top side. One more hit, and Hide on Bush goes down. Sanford doesn't want to let him go, but he doesn't connect. Sanford gets the dash through, but he's going to take a tower shot and fall down himself. Hide on Bush gets the kill for that one. It's a back and forth battle, but TL does come out on top of this one.
Yeah, they might have lost the Turtle in that, but they definitely got the kills. And I think that's what TL wanted to go ahead and get. Again, they're scaling up Carl Teasy here on this Hirata, and Sanford goes in just to, you know, it's a bit of a sacrifice whether he went down or not, but ends up pushing them off of that space so they couldn't follow through the team fight. That's big for them. Looking at the replay, again, we expected Entity7 to fight this with the tools at hand, but again, fighting into this whole mid lane. Penguin.
Big attack from TL here. Entity7 just trying to defend. They don't want to force anything. Gold still at a minimum. Only about 750 into the hands of TL. Entity7 has taken the first tower on the map. TL needs to start converting this lead into something more than just kills and gold.
Yeah, Entity7 letting Doom kind of build up on here on this Moskov like we've seen many times. That might be a play in itself that they want to lean towards, but they're going to just watch this tier 1 turret up top get taken down. It's worked on slowly but surely, but Doom, again, a play here for them is to build it up. The problem is because of you have JP on this Minotaur, and I think his first item that he locked in was the Chastised Pauldrons to go and help with some of that attack speed. His setup plus Sanford's zoning potential is what is the obstacle for Entity7. Plus that damage that we saw, you know, with Eudora needing just basically 2 items to really pump out that damage. The stun that comes with that, and then followed through for either a Paquito from Teddy to come through or Carl Teasy on the Harara is what is working so well synergistically for TL's lineup. But still, you know, fighting for this turtle, see if they can secure it. E7's done a great job securing the 2 turtles already. As, again, playing around this tankiness. An arrow.
Big stun does land on to Sanford. Forced to use the Consecration plus the Purify. He is a sitting duck at this point as Carl Teasy moves in as well. Nice deton's welcome on to Sanford.
Wow.
But a big dive in from Akashi. But the knockup still connects and SOD as well. Doom able to get the shutdown onto Carl Teasy. Getting some nice gold as Teddy's on the run. And E7 splits up, splitting TL apart. Sanford, the last one to go down. It's nothing but JP left. A turtle, the third and last turtle, into the hands of Entity7.
Entity7 is making it work right now. Again, give it to Hide on Bush to go and win the Retri battle against Carl Teasy now. That's 3 for 3 for Turtles. And the rest of the team to fight into that team fight. Again, Doom has been farming his mind out, and then he just comes, joins the fight with an SOD, and helps turn things around. This is why they were talking about it in the draft. How good this composition from Entity7 is, and how well-rounded of a profile for damage that it has too. I mean, the tankiness alone helps place things up. And then if you just follow up an arrow from Shin, it's almost an easy catch with the Daytona's welcome, the Wrath of Dryad, and then to pump out the damage.
Now they're going to start moving into buffs, and this is what we used to see in the days of Barat's jungle. Against assassins like this with a bulky lineup, you just slowly push forward. You slowly strangle the life out of the opponent, and that's what Entity7's trying to do. They now sit at a 3K gold lead, another tower falls.
This is a bit different too, just because of the nature of the lineup from TL. You know, you would think typically when you have that Claude or the Moskov like E7 have, it's like, well, eventually you're gonna hit that power spike and you're gonna be able to play for that. But right now, TL's just gotta play for each other as a team to get back into this game. Entity7 having almost a 3,000 gold lead at the 9-minute mark against a team like Team Liquid is just insanity, and it's a statement for themselves to have this kind of draft, make it work. Now, what it comes down to, Trex, in a couple seconds, this Lord is going to come up. Carl Teasy and the rest of TL have to win this Retri battle if they can. Again, 3 for 3 turtles for Entity7. it's all broken out into a team fight too, but you saw that Sanji picks up the Divine Glaive. And someone's also got to deal with the off-map push happening from Doom. Arrows being thrown out here for Shin, giving information over to the rest of Entity7. And so this is a tough one for TL. They've got to decide to not let that bottom wave push in and also to set up around the objective.
And Entity7 are playing the macro game well, pushing the long lane. They've got Akashi up on the top side. Sanford does have his eye on the Lord, but it still feels like Entity7 can slow play this. And this is a position Team Liquid's not used to, right?
Yeah.
This is a position that they have to think about how they're going to approach this. They don't have a marksman. They went for the fighter off. Teddy not having the greatest game, and how does Teddy even get to the back line right now? If he is able to get past Hide on Bush, Shin's waiting with an arrow. Doom's able to push him back.
Uh-oh, Lord, quarter to health. They're going to fight it. Conceal already used.
Easy makes his way in, but Vagine catches him, and the Detona's welcome. Helps Hide on Bush. Secure it. JP goes down. He is able to flicker back at least, but not just yet. Will catch up Doom, but Doom's not going to let him go. Teddy's on the run as well. JP finally shredded to pieces. KarlTzy, Sanji, JP all off the map as Entity7 forces in 5 with the Lord.
Man, they get the Lord. They win the team fight. Entity7 is now knocking on the base here of Team Liquid. The rest of the members going to be up here shortly, but they're going to lose the base shields as they're popped up top mid, and now E7 working on the base turret. They're just trying to hold on, and they got to clear out this Lord.
Entity7 kicking down the front door of Team Liquid Philippines. I don't think anyone thought we'd be here right now in just game number 1. They're gonna move on to the orange buff. 7K gold lead.
Man, Trex, again, for anyone that did predictions coming in this MSC, have definitely been thrown off. Again, that Lord secured by Hide on Bush. He's been phenomenal in the Retribution battle. Doom as well, farmed up to the grit. Now just able to go ahead and shred through anyone up with that front line. This has been so amazing for Entity7 to deal with in game 1. For Team Liquid, they've been in this deficit before, they've been down before, but it just hasn't been happening that often in their recent matches, in their recent stints in MPL Philippines or anything like that. But now that they're playing behind, we have to see if they can kind of adjust from this on the fly, because even if you get past this game, Entity7 is just playing better right now.
Vagine will keep vision, and I love the placement of the traps around from Selena. This is another big advantage for Entity7, the constant vision they have on the map. Another trap goes down. Sanford's got to keep on taking them to the face, but it's fine because they can just keep this going. Look at Akashi on the boss side, ready to help out this slow push or wait for any target that's going to walk into him. 3, 1, and 6. Level 14 ahead of everyone on the other team. I mean, Entity7 is just in such a perfect position right now.
Arrows being thrown out here. Gotta dodge those for the most part, but I think what's really difficult here too, Trex, is unfortunately with this kind of lineup, there isn't much of a surprise angle you can look for other than maybe that flicker setup from JP, maybe the flicker setup stun from Sanji. It has to be one of them, but at the same time, if they overcommit being this down, you probably are just going to lose that team fight. You know, you're not really able to go ahead and shred through for even a Barracks alone when Hide on Bush has those stacks and he's leading that front line, and then you got a Belric to worry about too. Meanwhile, how do you even catch Doom? You know, he's just been able to go ahead and free hit in the back, utilize his flicker if he needs to. Honestly, he hasn't even used it that much just because it's been such an easy sailing game so far for Doom on this Moskov. And now with Lord up, they're going to go ahead and start this one up. TL knows what's going on here, but there's the Detona's welcome.
Might have been a waste a little bit early on to Sanford. Sanford uses the consecration, able to get away. Arrow comes out. Team Liquid is forced back. Sanford going to look for the re-engage, keep vision up. Entity7 knows they don't have the Detona's welcome, which gives KarlTzy a little bit of freedom, but there's minions on the base, making this a forced 4v5 if TL wants to go for it. This may not be the fight they want, but KarlTzy doesn't want to give it up right here. Shin does take a bit of damage on the boss side. Akashi, along with Vagine, are going to try to push TL back. KarlTzy gets a little bit of damage onto Vagine. Akashi going to dive down onto Sanford, and Sanford goes down. Vagine with the flicker in.
Teddy's there.
Looking for 2, but only catches 1, but a big Minoan's Fury in response. Doom falls. Teddy Teddy to the backside, but E7 aren't done just yet. They're gonna move on to Carl Teasy. Carl Teasy dashes back. Kashi doesn't want to let him go just yet.
Get the combo.
This is the knockback. Shin, it's a lot of damage. Carl Teasy still under with the iframes, but he finally falls. And now it's Akashi up against Teddy, the 1v1. But Shin shows up to help the jump. Minions on the top side, 6 seconds for Sanford.
Teddy had a plan, but a boxer to a Valkyrie. The Valkyrie is gonna win, and now E7 looks to cap it out.
Can they end it here? I don't know. Sanford's got the survivability. He
got a
doesn't have
Lord.
a consecration, but a Lord is coming soon. Team Liquid on the brinks of losing game 1. Sanji's back up. I think Entity7 has to make the call to back off.
Oh, man. So they stay in the game. That was a really dire attempt as we look at the replay here. Teddy knew that this was the angle he had to go for. He's completely stacked up there on the combo, goes in, finds Doom, the perfect target. But again, because of the nature of how far behind they are in terms of items, this fight would have been very different if they weren't down 7,000 gold, but still, nonetheless, it's a good fight for Team Liquid to get some gold in their pockets. Again, you can still see some of the frustration across the faces here of TL, Carl Teasy especially, but they still have 2 base turrets. I think the question still stands, can they actually contest the next lore that comes up? Because even that fight was all just started up.
I mean, they do get lucky with the RGN, right? Lord will be spawned on top side. They still have a disadvantage in the long lane, but it's not as bad as before.
Yeah.
Not as bad as it was before, with the fact that inhibitor is gone on the top side. Sanford already kind of holding positioning, but again, the traps from Salida, constant vision. Akashi just combing out in this bush. The positioning from E7 is good.
Man, you're looking at this across the board too, you know. There's not much of a difference too much across, except for the XP lane. But Sanford on the Uranus is still going to be that tanky guy to go ahead and do this. Again, part of it is given that vision around the objective. If he has to pop the Consecrate, that ultimate, it's fine. He can go ahead and sustain himself. Obviously, if he gets a little bit tankier, then he's able to go ahead and do that much better for TL. But still, most of their fights that they're going to have to win have to come through these weird angles into the team fights, or just a setup of the lifetime for JP or Sanji. But they'll buy time as much as they need to go ahead and kind of catch up on the itemization here. You know, across the board, 10 seconds for that lore to be up here as we look at this. Once again, you know, it might take some fancy footwork from Carl Teasy too. And Sanford getting a little more defensive built in now for that physical defense. Lord is up. They have to get in position. And yes, as you mentioned, that RNG, at least it's on this top side where that turret is busted for TL. So they can clear out and manage these waves, but it's already going to be started up very quickly by Entity7 here. Half health on the Lord. They'll still respect what Sanford and the rest of TL can do.
Yeah, they're letting the reset happen a few times, still taking it slow. They know they have the general push on the bot side. Entity7 doesn't need to rush things, but the thing is the clock is ticking, and TL are getting more and more items. We already saw in the last fight they could almost break it even, and that is in a deficit, let alone when things get tied out. Ooh. This is still Team Liquid we're talking about, but the Telenos welcome does lock on to JP. Maybe not the best target, but it is a target indeed, but JP responds back with a beautiful Nolan's Fury. Hide on push brought down low. Carl Teasy forces a dash away, but looking for the re-engage. Unable to connect on anyone. Doom in the backside, able to push Sanford away. JP trying to run as Entity7 closes the space. They're going to go for the Lord instead. They don't want to force the fight, and I think it's a smart move.
As you're seeing through that fight, Teddy has no option to go in. You know, he might be fully stacked, full health, but if he does go in and get caught through all of that, then they lose that damage from TL. So it's just sort of this push and pull to see what they can get out of Entity7 and see if they can make them overstep. But so far, Entity7 hasn't fallen for it. They've done a really good job at just kind of taking their time, stalling this out. JP's got an immortality now, though, too. And so once again, they're going to wait for that reset to come through for the ultimates. Fighting for this Lord. There's a big wave up bot, though. And Akashi's going to have to deal with this. TL knows this. They have some information. Can they blitz the Lord before Akashi makes his way back up? But there's just too much of a risk. Shin throwing out these arrows, giving the vision. A stun on Van Nguyen. While Doom is here, so it's just, again, not favorable for TL right now.
I think it's a smart move from Akashi to just turn back. It's okay if you lose that tower right now. Let things even out. Akashi trying to push JP down. Brings down to about half health. Carlteasy looks for the re-engage. Nice. Big hit from Vagine. Akashi able to find Sanji. JP, Immortality pops. Akashi finds Carlteasy. And Entity7 is taking him down one by one. Immortality pops onto Teddy. Entity7 doesn't even want the Lord. They're going to go for the base.
They're going to go for the base here,
It's
Trex.
Sanford, Carlteasy still on the map. No, everyone's gone but Sanford. And Entity7 with the upset of game one. Take it.
Models. They're not gonna do anything crazy like a Leslie, right? No, yeah, Claude.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Claude.
Play it safe, play it safe.
Go past Claude. Maybe one of the points that we prepared back in the green room before this, because of the win rate, lose rate in this case, 33% when a Claude is picked up. But ironically, Teddy had been playing a lot of Claude, helping to contribute to that. Now Teddy on the other side with Melissa, who has an 83% win rate. Will this trade in the gold lane make the difference as we send it to a Team Liquid and Entity7 Game 2, that if Entity7 win, they will knock out your defending champions of MSC and guarantee that MSC at EWC 2026 will have a new champion here lifting that trophy. Get ready, get excited, because we're game 2 here. History could be made. It's Entity7 versus Team Liquid PH.
History is already in the process so far with this one. After game 1, surprising and shocking everyone around the world watching this one, Entity7 gets game 1. Now for Team Liquid Philippines to move forward, it starts here with game 2. They brought a draft that I think it looks better, at least for them in this game 2, Trex. They got to get it, and it's a Melissa, yes, that has a high % win rate right now. I like it better than the Paquito for Teddy.
Yeah, definitely better than the Paquito for Teddy. It gives the possibility to defend these big pushes. It gives some range. It adds a little more dynamic to the draft of Team Liquid. Entity7 also comes straight forward this time. They pick up the Ling, hide on Bush on the Assassin. The only game he's been able to win so far has been on a utility jungle, and that was the Barats that he played last game. So things are going to have to definitely be a little different this time.
Yeah, the different factor here too is, you know, there's a way for Team Liquid to approach these fights, whether that's depending on what ultimate Sanji decides to take. You know, most likely that Wrath of the Dryad will be the biggest value for him. Set things up around the team fight. JP provides this information on the Hilda, able to go ahead and kind of slow down or attempt to slow down Hide on Bush. You know, again, the previous game, Hide on Bush was just on point with the retributions. This is a challenge now for Carlteasy to make it happen on the heroic. Running it back, but the mid lane is also where things start.
Oh, a lot of damage on a Vagine there. Is going to have to go back to base. Team Liquid definitely controlling the pace of this first 2 minutes. But honestly, it was similar in the last game, and Entity7 was able to find the big punch back.
Yeah.
It's when those first few turtles came up, that's when we saw the difference happening. Akashi is on this Uranus, and Uranus hasn't had the best games for a lot of teams, honestly. Can Akashi make a difference?
Yeah, that's a big question. As you see him at quarter of the health here. Sanford burning that flicker. He's not going to have it available. He's trying to get that level 4, so at least he's got the Daytona's welcome. Turtle's going to already be started up, though, by Carlteasy. He'll pull off of it, though. Let it reset a bit. Some of the buffs are up. Oh, flicker.
Ooh, nice stun on to Shin. Shin going to take a lot of damage. First blood going to the hands of JP. As Hide on Bush has to work on his purple buff. Team Liquid should get a free turtle here. It is taking them some time, though. If they can clean up this purple buff soon enough, maybe they'll go for a steal. No, they decide to back off as Akashi keeps vision.
Yeah, better for them to go ahead and just secure the buff for now and not get a little overzealous around it. It's just the first turtle there for Entity7. Yeah, they lose that first blood over to TL, but you know, they can adjust from it. We've seen this, especially with the Ling. You know, Ling able to go ahead and move around the map pretty quickly here. JP, again, this is going to be his job. And you can see E7's kind of dealing with it now. Whoa!
Ooh, another kill into the hands of Sanji. This Hide on Bush brings down the Tempest of Blades, doesn't connect onto Envy. Now he's going to take a lot of damage, gets stuck on a double kill over to Sanji.
Man, JP, he planted himself in that bush. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to hide on this bush so I can heal back up.
Very well done. I like your way with words, sir.
Thank you.
On the top side.
You know what? That's what you do.
That's what you do when you have this job.
But yeah, Dude, it's already an early lead for TL off of this composition. You know, this is a very different start. This is the flow that Team Liquid is usually used to. And a big part of it is just the amount of damage that they can do early on and, you know, setting things up around, again, the information that is provided by having a Hilda in the hands of JP. Oh, he could be in trouble.
Nice hit on the JP there. Wrath of Dryad as well on Sanji. Sanji's going to back off, get a couple free shots in as KarlTzy does miss the skill. Entity7 and TL both go back to a standstill. But wait, no, KarlTzy, a lot of damage on a Shin. Is he going to go for the dive on the tower? Sanji tries to get another shot as well. KarlTzy going to move over to this purple buff. Doesn't have vision. JP's going to open it up for them. They push Akashi back. He does have the consecration. He can deal with a little bit of crowd control. TL just testing the boundaries right now.
Yeah, all that pressure for the purple buff, right? To take it from Hide on Bush if they can. But also TL can't risk it. You got to think every decision here up to this point, because you're down in the series 1 game and you're facing elimination here, you really have to stay calm and collected through this. You know, they can go ahead and kind of thread that needle as much as possible, but they want to maintain this lead they've already built. They want to go ahead and scale it up even further. The second turtle is up, and right now they're fighting for this space to work with. Hide on Bush is going to make his way here. Wrath of Dryad already used. Karl trying to run.
Karl looking for a way in. Nice then as welcome on Hide on Bush. Sanford able to lock him down. Akashi will secure the turtle as JP gets brought down low. Tempest of Blades does come down on Sanford. Sanford just trying to walk away behind him. Bush doesn't want to let it happen. He's able to get the kill. Back in the mid, KarlTzy's forced to go back to base, and on the top side, Doom and Teddy continue to battle it out on the bot side tower, though. JP's not going to be able to defend it. This should be a good tower for Entity7.
Really surprised KarlTzy didn't go down there. I mean, he had 1 HP. He tried to attempt to take the turtle, but E7 able to secure it, get themselves an objective too. So for Entity7, they pretty much just dealt with that bit of a lead that TL built up. That was a 2,000 gold lead now taken care of as Skypiercer is picked up for KarlTzy. So if he starts to get these kills, we've seen it before, those stacks can really build up and be devastating for Hirara. Conceal going to be used on JP. They're going for him.
JP will get stunned by Shin. A couple more free shots from Dune and he will go down. Sanford and Sanji are forced to just watch from the tri-bush. A nice terrify onto Akashi, but he's going to continue to get vision for the team as Hide on Bush goes back to the jungle.
You know, that's the difficult part there, Trex, too. You know, you have these tanky heroes like this Uranus. Whether he's, you know, as nimble as the other XP laners, he just tanks up a lot of damage, and he can just go ahead and be that front line for you. You pair it up with a Belric, and it's nearly impossible to just kind of barge your way through the front line. KarlTzy will be able to get his buff, though. So E7 is pretty much mirroring what Team Liquid has done minutes ago when they had the lead. Now mid lane.
Nice Wrath of Dryad on Shin. Doom comes in with a blazing duet. Look at the damage on KarlTzy. Doom gets the kill, and Hide on Bush comes out with a Tempest of Blades, securing the kill onto JP as well. Entity7 popping off at 7 minutes.
Team Liquid is trying to make things happen with the Wrath of Dryad stolen by Sanji, and then they get punished in the mid lane. 2 kills for E7 to scale up further. That last turtle of the game is going to be up here. Oh, we did see a stun on live cam. He's going to be able to get away, I think.
Should be okay.
Oh, they're still chasing.
Comes in. JP engages as well. Big Wrath of Dryad once again, able to lock up JP and the rest of the team. Sanford gonna come in with the detonus welcome, able to lock on to Shin. Get the spit out against the wall, and Shin still survives though.
How is Shin alive?
Bush keeps going. Sanford down. Entity7 is pushing the Stampede away.
How was Shin alive again, TL? They try to make something happen and they get punched to the ground off the decision. That is not what you want happening with your backs against the wall in your tournament life. But for E7, looking to make history, they're a step closer at that point. Each objective that goes down, Entity7 is looking to make a huge statement across the world of competitive MLBB.
You know, we saw them the other day, and I think everyone came in today down-seed Entity7. Another ult lands down onto Sanford. Entity7 are controlling this game, and this is match point.
Oh man, Hide on Bush. Here's a conceal.
Oh, Hide on Bush, forced to use Tempest of Blades, will be able to get away. Detonus welcome does get wasted as well. There's nothing left in the kit of Team Liquid now for another fight.
That's so unfortunate for TL. You know, they're trying to expend what they can, a conceal, a play, try to get the jungler of E7 down, and when you go for that, and then he just kind of Finch poisons away, that is unfortunate, you know, because what else can you find across the map? Entity7 is doing such a good job also just protecting the core members here. You know, again, having a Belric, having a Uranus on your lineup, you can just give so much space. Mind you, Doom has just been able to go ahead and farm up on this Claude, man. 2-0-3. You know, when he hits that Trinity, which I believe he might have already, if we take a look at the items, there it is, on point. He does get the golden staff right around the 9-minute mark. So this is the thing to be cautious about now, because that power spike is available for Doom, and they've just been playing around the setup that happens here.
A lot of damage onto Akashi, does pop the Consecration, will get away to safety. Sanford does have the Den as well, decides not to use it on the top side. Teddy and JP just try to defend the waves. It's a tier 2 on the mid, tier 2 on the bottom, and an inhibitor standing at the top. Team Liquid getting brought down to their bones at this point. Orange buff is saved by Carl Teasy, but every time Entity7 makes them fight for it.
Oh man, they're gonna make them fight for this Lord here. Purple buff go and taken by Hide on Bush. Carl Teasy's trying to get his. It is gonna be a reset on the Lord, but Doom will hold it there. They've got that small wave trying to push up top. That should be cleared out. Oh, they're gonna start this fight.
Kashi takes a lot of damage, pops Consecration once again. And Team Liquid still have ults ready to go along with Entity7. It's a dance, and last time we saw this in the previous game, Entity7 was willing to go the distance for these Lords. They don't need to rush them. They know they can slow play it. This isn't what we expected from Entity7, but right now, they are bringing it to Team Liquid's face. JP looking for the tri-brush.
Oh, he's looking.
As Teddy's up in the top side. Carl Teasy takes some damage. Doom comes in with Blazing Duet, does not capitalize too much with that damage. BMI's back, but it does the job. It zones them away. Sanford able to get the Detonus welcome around. The Dryad comes out. Begin ready to lose his life for the rest of the team. Hide on Bush comes in, doing some nice damage. Akashi does go down. Teddy shows up. Entity7 backs off with the Lord.
Okay, they back off. Shin's still there. Carl Teasy gonna be able to get away. Doom's just around the corner too. Did they want to go for this? Again, Lord was secured. They got one kill. But you're seeing how much of a struggle it is right now for TL for these team fights. They still need a lot of time to kind of catch up here. Once again, E7 finds themselves with a healthy gold lead to work with against the defending MSC champions here, the Filipino champions. This is such a big game, a big series for Entity7. And everyone else watching this, look at the item different factor here as they try to put some pressure on that purple buff. From Carl Teasy, he's able to go ahead and secure it. They do have to go ahead and slow this down a bit to deal with this Lord push up top.
Entity7 slowly taking it to them right now. A wave of minions down the mid. They're going to take this tier 2. TL on the defense. Good taunt on a Sanford. Asanji tries to come in. Asanji does have the Wrath of the Dryad. We got to watch out for that one. But there's one in the hands of Agin as well. Lord crashing in.
So lockdown?
Lockdown. Teddy able to get Agin. Lord does go down, and TL defend well, taking a member along with the Lord and losing no inhibitors.
It's one small step in the right direction for Team Liquid. They got to go ahead and scale up here on Teddy, especially this Melissa, again, has a great win rate so far throughout MSC. But you can see, you know, he's a bit behind. 2,000 gold, that's more than a bit, that's quite a bit of gold behind. You know, working on this fourth item. He's at least got the Trinity locked in. So that's why the damage, when they're able to go and set it up, it's there. But again, you're susceptible to being collapsed down on. You've only got your go away and you've only got your flicker. That's about it. So TL is really just, it seems like they're just trying to slow it down, keep things maintained in the base till that, you know, they're ready to actually fight into these fights right now. They just know that the power is in favor of Entity7. They have to dissect these fights really carefully, especially with Hide on Bush on this Ling. As we've seen so far, a little bit of stun here on JP. He'll be able to tank that up. They want to go ahead and secure, once again, this buff for Carl Teasy.
Sanford's going to try to bring it back. The game does get pushed back as well, but Hide on Bush takes the purple. Now Carl Teasy doesn't have the buff to go, and Lord is up in just 16 seconds. It's going to be a big advantage over to Entity7. Not to mention as well, they're sending Doom up to the top side to create a slow push on the long lane. Team Liquid has to think very clearly about this next Lord.
This Lord is crucial. Approaching that 14-minute mark up to this point, Entity7 with a 6,000 plus gold lead is in charge, just like they were in game one. And now for this Lord to go ahead and start up, Akashi will pull it through. And Sanford, he's got to get those stacks. He's got to be that front line. They got to allow Teddy that space to work with. And Sanji has been holding on to that Wrath of the Dryad. It's going to be crucial here. If they decide to fight, that's the main thing. Quarter the health on the Lord here. Does TL go for the Lord? It's just going to be secured by Hide on Bush. So they choose to defend again.
I think that's the right play, honestly. The thing about Team Liquid's draft is they do have good protection against a siege. They can huddle up. They want to try to fight in those little corners. When Entity7 has to come through, they'll have the Wrath of the Dryad in response. They'll have the Detna's welcome, and they'll have Teddy just getting free shots from the base. That's where they need to look for the big mistake, or that's where they at least need to buy some more time to get to this 18-20 minute mark to where gold is at a standstill.
Man, again, if this Lord making its way up top, Entity7 with a 7,000 gold lead, maybe that's lucky for them as they approach the base. TL trying to clear this out. Again, they've got some key items picked up. Wind of Nature too for Teddy, so they can fight this if they need to lock it down here into the base. Lord's gonna charge in up top. Entity7 looking to take out a base turret. Conceal gonna be used here.
Conceal is used. Entity7 breakthrough. TL's tournament life on the line. One more fight could end it all. Carl Teasy tries to look for the engage. Begin as well, entering through the Lord, crashes in. Doom forced back by the Muddles. Entity7 just looking for towers. They know they can't brute force their way in right now.
And with that, that'll be a successful defense for TL. Yes, they lost 2 base turrets, but given the situation, how far behind as a team they are, they hold on to 1. They potentially buy themselves a minute and a half or so to go ahead and catch up. But we've seen this before, Trex. It might be one of those cases where it's like, do they just continue to let the Lord go and then try to get that miracle-based defense? At some point, though, especially when we get to that evolved Lord territory, it's almost better just to go for that play in the Lord, you know, and not let it come down to your base defense.
This might honestly be the one that they're gonna have to fight for. Without 2 inhibitors, it's a very tough defense because yes, they have the capability with Teddy now, especially having the Wind of Nature and everything. They can hold up for a little while, but it's not like Entity7 doesn't have the dive potential either. They have the big Blazing Duet. They have Begin. They have Akashi who can harass. They have so many opportunities. And look at them now. They're just huddling outside. They're freezing lanes, but they're not giving much space.
And a big threat to just stop Team Liquid in their tracks is, again, Shin. And that's why this Eudora has been so deadly in the drafts. Whether it's Shin and just playing off the Wrath of the Dryad even, or that taunt that comes through the Balric, that could be an almost automatic kill. That numbers advantage that Entity7 can potentially get is what's so deadly and why Team Liquid has to pretty much just stay in their base unless they're all gonna go together here. JP can spot some things out. He's tanky enough, has that magic resistance too. So now that this Lord is up, Teddy goes and handles that wave a bit. Doom will start this Lord. And this could be a crucial one. This could be the game-winning Lord take for Entity7 unless TL could somehow, some way make this happen. The stun's coming through, plus that ultimate from Shin already.
I think they know this is going to be drawn out, so they're willing to use it just to force them away a little bit. It's a slow push on the bot side towards Team Liquid's last inhibitor. At some point, Entity7 knows you got to send someone over there. That's your only option. You also have to worry about top lane. You also have to worry about mid. And look at Hide on Bush. He's even willing to commit. Listen, I'm going to force this thing in. You have to send someone now. Ooh. And I'm quickly going to get back to the Lord.
And they know Teddy's got to go there. That wave pushed in. There's the conceal. They got to stop this here. It's on a quarter of the health.
Big Wrath of Dryad, and Doom comes in with a Blazing Duet, along with a Tempest of Blades. The Tona's Welcome does lock on, but it's not enough. Carl Teasy finds Shin in the backside.
Can Teddy get there?
Taking so much damage, and Hide on Bush with the double. The go away does come out, but Entity7 doesn't want to give it up now. It's just JP and Teddy up against them all with Carl Teasy. Entity7's not going to force it in. They're going to go back to the Lord. They want to make this a guarantee.
Entity7 will be able to get this Lord. What a team fight. What a macro play to push that bottom wave. make sure Teddy got it, and he was too late to the fight. So they collapsed down. Yes, TL still going to be able to defend, but man, they expended a lot. Look at those battle spells. They're still down here. They got waves to deal with, and eventually Entity7 will be looking to take down this base turret and take down the tournament lives here of TL.
I'm going to say this, Entity7 better finish this here. I'm surprised they didn't go for the ending a second ago. No go away on Teddy. But once again, just to remind everyone, Team Liquid on tournament life. This could be the last Lord push we see from them. Can they make the Hail Mary play?
Oh, they're going for it.
Oh, TZ gets taken out by Shin, diving too deep. Are they just trying to buy time? Though as the rest of Entity7 pushes in, a big blazing duet on Sanji. The Lord connects onto the base. Teddy, 1v1 against Doom, and he gets the shut down the go away. Teddy is popping off right now, but isn't enough to save the day as the rest of Entity7 closes in. A tempest of blades to seal the deal, and Entity7 comes halfway across the world to prove a point, to prove that the hunt's not over.